Here the diagram may help. You also have some notations up here of things you should look for and the order in which you should look for them. At the bottom, you have an example of what a final might look like and a written definition of that. When starting the project, you should first look at the diagram. Notice the direction of the paper and in what order the structure or object may be drawn. Then next, draw in the points and lines with the exact dimensions that are given. Then 3, note and follow the general written directions for objects and lines. And last, draw the other lines and objects by reading the visual diagram and making visual judgments. Now look over to the diagram. What things do we know for sure? Well, we know the paper is taller than it is wide. We know down here that the horizon line is 2 inches from the bottom of the page. We know that the vanishing points on left and right are 1/2 an inch in from the edge. And we know that the third vanishing point is in the center of the page and 3/4 of an inch from the top. Next, we have some general instructions, such as the top of the box that the letters fit into is over halfway up the page. The bottom of that box is 1/2 inch from the bottom. Now, it doesn't tell you how much over halfway, and it doesn't tell you where this 1/2 inch is. That's where you get into having to read the drawing and find some things out for yourself. Let's start by drawing the things we know for sure. The horizon is 2 inches from the bottom of the page, and the vanishing points are 1/2 inch from the edge. The third vanishing point is in the center of the page and 3/4 of an inch down from the top. Here's the final project sheet. I've put in the horizon line, 2 inches up, vanishing points 1/2 an inch in, and the third vanishing point halfway across the sheet and 3/4 of an inch down. Next, we have to decide what to draw first to get the structure. Well, a good rule of thumb in drawing is always to draw the closest thing to you or the most important thing. And the closest thing here in this box that the letters sit in is this edge. So we'll draw down from the vanishing point, down this way till it's 1/2 an inch from the bottom. That'll be our leading edge. Now, we also have to read in this diagram, does this come straight down? No, it's over here to the right. Does it say how much? No, but it's not way over here, and it's not exactly under it. It's about 1/4 of the way over. So in our drawing, we'll make it approximately the same. Here it is on our drawing. There it'd be straight down. It's just a little bit off to the right. Looking back at the diagram, what do we need to know to draw the box the letters fit in? Well, we know that's over halfway up the page. A little bit, but not a lot. And if we look here, and we look between the corner here and the vanishing point, the box is over halfway. So I know that this side's got to be longer than halfway between this corner and here. Now when I look at this side, I find that halfway is right about here. So the depth of the box is not quite halfway. This gives you more room for your letters to fill in. Here it is on my sheet. Now it's time to erase what lines I don't need so they don't get in the way and they won't mess up my drawing later on when I'm trying to finish it. That would be the horizon line and these extra guidelines to the different vanishing points. And here's the box I have to put the letters inside of. Let's look back and figure out what the diagram would tell us about the room to be left for each letter. You have to use 3 initials. Now if you don't have a middle initial, figure one out, any one you want. And you have a slice for the first letter, a gap, a next section, a gap, and a next section. And all the verticals now are going up to that third vanishing point. Let's see how that would work out on our drawing. To divide the box up, you can just divide up one line. Because everything goes back to a vanishing point, you don't have to use a ruler. You can leave a section here for a letter, leave a little gap, section, gap, section. Now by putting little marks on this line, you then can draw up to the third vanishing point and divide up the box. You also, in the same way, can divide up this edge, and by carrying it back to the vanishing point, start putting guidelines in. like this. The next step would be to start putting your letters in for your initials. Once you've got them laid out on the one face, you can carry them back in perspective going to this vanishing point with the verticals all going to the third. Next, you erase all your guidelines, clean it up so it looks like the small diagram at the bottom of your instruction page. Just like with the two-point perspective, if you want to, you can start abstracting your initials, maybe having them flow together or be some kind of special block letter. After you've completed your letters in three-point perspective, you might want to do a second project that is more complex for extra credit. Some examples should be